Colonel, what's China's play here? And what do you think they were doing behind the scenes? Or is it better for them to wait, and do they have bigger fish to fry?
Well, the Chinese are much like Donald Trump. They don't want a war. And their view right now is very similar to the Russian view. If Iran is destroyed, if we succeed in regime change, if we put a puppet government in and it breaks up, that has huge strategic implications for Russia and China. We've already talked about China's dependence on the oil and natural gas. That's not going to change anytime soon. They're going to work to get around the sea routes, and that's going to continue without question. But I think their view is that Iran must be kept intact. It must survive, because if it's lost, that puts everything that they're trying to achieve commercially, economically on the Eurasian landmass at risk. I think the Russians see Iran as the key to stability in Central Asia. If you lose Iran and Iran becomes anarchic, or worse yet, our puppet in some fashion, then all of this could spill over the Caucasus into southern Russia. Remember, we've been working to stir up Muslim populations in Central Asia, even Muslims living in Russia. Now, that's failed miserably. And again, I often point to the fact that Russia's integration of the Muslim peoples inside Russia is brilliant and is a good model for people to think about. I mean, it really is. And all you have to do is look at the performance of the Chechen forces inside the Russian military establishment.
Peter Thiel took $500,000 and turned it into $1 billion using the exact same techniques we're using inside the investment club. He met a CEO, his name was Zuckerberg. He pitched him the deal and he said, okay, I'll give you $500,000. Mark went public and sold the shares to people like you. Well, what happened to Peter? Well, he exited and got a 2,300x return. The wealthy invest in early stage companies, folks. The public markets are for suckers. It's a rigged game. By the way, this happens in crypto as well. It's called pre-sale tokens. This is Solana. Does anybody know this chain? They sold pre-sale tokens for 4 cents. And you can see the date on there, April 5th, 2018. Look at Solana today, folks. That thing's up over 1,000x. The media and Wall Street and all these hype people get you to buy the top. Meanwhile, they put their clients in at the bottom and they use you for liquidity to make their clients rich. You can play this same game. You just have to have the financial education and the deal flow. That's it.
They've done a brilliant job. They're ferocious and they've done very, very well. So I don't think it'll work, but if you're a Russian, why would you want to risk losing control of your southern border? Remember, Russia has huge borders and very many vulnerable points, and that's the problem in Iran. So I think China and Russia have both said, we will not let Iran fail. So the Chinese are now providing, I'm told, 127 new fifth generation, whatever it is, aircraft, fourth or fifth generation aircraft to Iran. And somebody said, well, that's because the Russians and the Iranians have had a falling out. They have not had a falling out. In fact, when you had the foreign minister from Iran in Russia after the 12-day conflict, you've got to be able to speak Russian, but people that watched it carefully speak Russian, read lips and so forth. Putin at some point said to the foreign minister, you should have let us help you. And that was because the Iranian integrated air defense system did not perform as well as it should have. And the Russians apparently had said, why don't you let us come in there and help you? And they said, no, we want to do this on their own. And Putin said, we understand you're a proud people, but we could have helped you. So I think we're now going to see a much improved integrated air defense system thanks to direct Russian intervention in the country to do that. They only have one S-400 system. So how many do they need and how many can they get? Well, the Russians could give them 10 or 12 if they need it. Obviously, they'll pay for it. But the bottom line is I see that both Russia and China have said, we're not going to let this state fail.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.